Hi, my name is Thomas Kiley. We will endeavor in this project to highlight some causes and provide solutions for high turnover in industries with high turnover rates. The industries we will be covering are healthcare, retail, food and beverage, and trucking. Employee retention is important for a plethora of reasons, including improving financial well-being, positive work culture, and operational efficiency. I will be talking to you about turnover in healthcare. Being an MRI technologist, I have witnessed a rapid increase in turnover associated with the COVID pandemic. The pandemic has shined a light on the risks of working in the field and has decreased the number of new entries into the industry. Many of my coworkers have jumped ship for travel contracts with higher pay. Following these departures, we operated at an employment deficit for almost a year without being fully staffed due to lack of qualified candidates. But how can we fix this issue? And what are the core problems? Some factors include management, workload, and compensation. Other factors are listed here. I will speak first to the issue of management. There are three main managerial styles in healthcare: transformational, transactional, and democratic. This chart was put together in a journal article titled "The Linkage Between Leadership Styles, Employee Loyalty, and Turnover Intention in the Healthcare Industry." As seen in the bottom right corner of the chart, the employees interviewed for this research most preferred the transformational and democratic styles of management. These styles tend to be more hands-on and cover more of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Transformational management style was the clear winner, encompassing 78% of interviewees. The transformational style of management is known for being more appreciative, nurturing, and motivating. So, using this style is the best way to reduce turnover. Workload is a major contributor to turnover, and having too much on your plate can lead to burnout. Healthcare employees often work rotating 12-hour shifts. This is to maximize coverage, but at the cost of employee health and well-being. According to research performed by physicians in Indonesia during the pandemic in 2020, they showed 83% of healthcare workers in their country suffered from burnout syndrome. Another statistic found in Principles and Practice of Hospital Medicine states that anywhere from a quarter to half of physicians worldwide are estimated to experience job burnout. Also, 41% of health workers experience emotional exhaustion, 22% experience loss of empathy, and 52% experience lack of confidence. By taking these actions, you can mitigate burnout in healthcare workers. This will in turn decrease the rate of turnover. Some of the better examples include promote flexible schedules, hire floating staff to cover life events, and make self-care a part of the work culture. The average wages of healthcare support employees, that include phlebotomists, home health aides, cooks, and more, is $13.48 per hour. These wages are so low that nearly 20% of care workers live in poverty, and more than 40% rely on some form of public assistance. This is unacceptable. I have witnessed some market adjustments being offered to employees to help with living cost increases because of inflation. These are laughable. If inflation is 6 to 10% on average, how can someone living below the poverty line succeed if they are to get market adjustment raises as low as 1%? I believe to fix the compensation issue, employers can offer better benefits to decrease the cost of healthcare, raise wages with a more even distribution of payroll, or offer some form of stock options to all employees for future benefit. Thank you for your time. Now I would like to turn things over to my teammate Levi.
Hello, my name is Levi Ashby, and I'm going to be talking to you about turnover in the retail industry. So first, retail stores employ 19 million Americans, and according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2020 it had a turnover rate of 57%. For the past few years, it's been experiencing a slow climb. For example, in 2016 to 2019, it was 42% to 45%, and now, according to the National Retail Federation, the number is 60%. Why is this a problem? Well, this is a problem because when a company industry has a high turnover rate, this typically means that there's something wrong with them. And retail is a vastly important industry. Also, evolving turnover compounds cost, meaning the higher the turnover rate, the more the business's bottom line is impacted. Some examples would be for an associate level position, companies can expect to pay 16% of that person's annual salary to replace them. That means someone who makes $10 an hour would cost around $3,000 to replace. Someone whose salary, it would cost 20% of their salary, and an executive level position would cost 213% of their salary to replace them. So I've broken this down into three main problems: lack of development, income, and company culture. First, lack of development. When people are starting to leave to find better opportunities and promotions elsewhere, that's one reason that they leave. The retail industry also employs low-skilled workers, which means that they lack the training and experience to know how to develop in a company. Companies also develop a name for themselves as being hard to progress in, which creates a problem for them when hiring good people and skilled workers. Also, a high turnover rate means that the work environment becomes harder because people are not staying around, so people have to spend more time training others. We can solve this by empowering, teaching, and focusing on promoting existing employees before we interview outsiders. Some examples of this would be tuition assistance, childcare, and paid time off. Second, income. It's no secret that the retail industry often doesn't pay well. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay was $15.35 in the United States. However, in many states it's lower. Retail often has very strict profit margins, so companies tend to not hand out raises freely. Income is one of the biggest reasons why people leave their jobs. This also relates back to lack of development because people are leaving to find better opportunities and promotions elsewhere. The solution: companies could offer bonuses for hardworking employees, increase their benefits such as paid time off and healthcare. They can implement a sizable employee discount, or a solution outside of the industry's control would be to lowering taxes, as this would increase the paycheck size of everyone. Finally, work culture. Retail stores are often very diverse, having people from all ages and backgrounds working together. This can create some drama and create a toxic work environment sometimes. They might also have a large age disparity. For example, a business that is a majority of baby boomers hiring millennials, this could cause one of the parties to want to leave because of different values. Finally, managers tend to have poor communication skills in this industry. The solution to this would be it has to start with the leadership. Leadership needs to communicate better and more meaningful with all of its employees. Second, the workplace should avoid petty dramas and promote leading by example at every chance that they get. Finally, we should mix ages without making one side feel inferior, as you do this by empowering them by stopping micromanaging. So, thank you for learning about the retail industry. If companies can implement some of these solutions, they will better their business, their industry, they will cut costs for themselves, and they will attract better people to help them grow. Now, Sarah is going to talk to you about the trucking industry.
Thank you for the introduction, Levi. For this portion of the presentation, we will be discussing identifying solutions for high turnover rates within the trucking industry. So the first thing that we need to do is establish what is trucking turnover. Trucking turnover is not the rate at which professional truck drivers enter and exit the industry itself. However, it is the rate at which professional truck drivers move between different logistics companies. According to the ATA, or the American Trucking Association, the turnover rate for LTL fleets was 11%. For small fleets, the turnover rate was 73%. And for large fleets with more than $30 million in revenue, the turnover rate was 89%. Common causes of trucker turnover can include compensation, equipment, home time, management and corporate relations, lifestyle pressures such as mental and physical health, social lives, etc., safety, and feelings of professional inefficacy. For the portion of this project, we will primarily be focusing on compensation, home time, and feelings of professional inefficacy. Compensation. The median pay for a professional truck driver is $48,310 per year, or $23.23 per hour. The hourly rate assumes a 40-hour work week. Please keep in mind that truck drivers can work significantly more than just 40 hours. Under the FLSA, professional truck drivers are not required to be paid overtime at any given time. To be competitive, employers, depending on their financial capability, can voluntarily pay their employees for overtime. An added benefit of this is making the industry more appealing to those who are considering entering it, curbing the 80,000 driver national shortage. Home time. Truck drivers can legally be permitted to work 70 hours per week and 14 hours per day. Carriers take advantage of this rather than approach this from an empathetic standpoint. As a result, truck drivers can potentially miss out on significant life events that they would have otherwise been present for at home. These solutions. Carriers must implement policies that acknowledge driver exhaustion and make efforts to return drivers home as often as reasonably possible. For example, capping work hours to 60 per week, or capping work hours to 10 hours per day, or a combination of the two. Professional inefficacy. To quote a study, employees experiencing an inefficacy may feel unproductive and that they lack the skills and/or resources to be successful in their roles. Feelings of professional inefficacy can result in decreased morale and job dissatisfaction. Truck drivers were classified as essential employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is unacceptable that truck drivers in 2022 are not feeling their value at work or are not getting the training that they need to be successful at work. The solutions: develop training or mentorship programs to encourage professional growth, and implementing reward systems to affirm employee appreciation and recognize hard work. Examples could be plaques for Truck Drivers of the Year or recognition for accident-free distances such as accident-free 1 million miles. Now I would like to turn it over to Skip, who will be discussing the food and beverage industry.
Hello everyone, I am Skip Carr and I'll be presenting high turnover in restaurant industry. Since the pandemic, the food and beverage industry has seen a spike of 75% turnover for multiple reasons. The industry itself has already become grueling on a day-to-day, and adding in supply chain issues and trying to hire new employees has only made the industry seem more off-putting. Many employees deserve better work-life balance, especially in the past few years with the inconsistency due to COVID. Not to be overworked and required to work in harsh environments, as well as are looking for a better quality of life, are many factors of why turnover rate in restaurant industry is so high. Also, many employees throughout the industry, especially kitchen staff, do not receive a livable wage majority of the time. One of the first issues would be quality of life. Studies have shown that work-life balance offers a better work satisfaction and job performance when not reaching burnout. Many restaurant employees work long hours, which causes them to burn out when living their day-to-day lives. Many studies are also showing that employees in hospitality businesses are thought to experience more workplace stress than ever before because of ever-growing level of customer service. Many people are working to live and not living to work. Due to long shifts and having to maintain professionalism, this can cause an unhealthy mentality to fake it until you make it. A next factor would be the overwork side and harsh environments. We see it mostly in chefs and back of house due to the long hours in the kitchen in a work environment that is way hotter and harsher than the front of house employees. Though the front of house staff deals with the customer service aspect, which has become more demanding since post-COVID. Due to the long hours on your body as well as the hot and fast-paced work environment involved in restaurant business, both physically and psychologically, employees seem to get burnt out faster. When the restaurant is filled, it is a normal practice that employees do not receive proper breaks during their shift. The culture is to keep working and make sure the guest is satisfied. This causes burnout in the long run and then an effect which could result in employees' dissatisfaction over time. Well-being of overall for employees. is the next topic. Due to this, prior to the slide, many employees' long-term effects on the physical, emotional, and mental well-being take a very huge hit over time. The industry is not very forgiving on your body, and the high stress as well as fast-paced work environment causes short and long-term issues in all aspects of health. Very well known in the industry is to just put your head down and make sure the guest is fully satisfied, even if this means you're having a tough time for yourself. Customer service has skyrocketed, but lack of employment in the industry is causing many employees to step away. Wage composition is also a very big deal throughout the industry. Many employees either solely depend on tips provided by guests or make an hourly that's not enough. Majority of the time, most employees are barely surviving through working 40 to 50 hours a week. A very big stigma on the industry is most employees that are not upper management are living paycheck to paycheck, which is true. Though upper management positions receive higher wages, many employees are feeling burnt out post-COVID due to the lack of employment being hired. So those managers are now having to pick up roles outside of their current position. Many solutions can be said for these issues, but some that I've come up with today. Restaurant industry has never been taken seriously as a long-term career, so most establishments do not offer livable wages or just have servers live off tips. To promote and produce better work-life balance and quality of life could be making sure people have consistent scheduling, paid time off, holidays off to allow proper recovery for well-being and time with family, as well as offering industry-related health benefit programs for physical and mental health issues. Also, a good idea would be having team building events outside of work that allows fellow employees to socialize with each other than a work environment.